Hello, good evening, everyone. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are you?
Fine.
We are fine, Pascal.
Fine.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Want us to start? And we will not hesitate to get a word of prayer, rather the opening from our spiritual leader. I can see her, she's in, so that we can start our session.
Mairo keji sechako. 35 mose join. Hapa no oseneno koro mga 30 to koro chako.
Good evening, everyone. Let us pray.
Thank you, God, for the day. Please thank you that you've been with us. Oh Lord, please protect us and guide us. And also, please help us to pass our exams, oh Lord. Oh Lord, we pray to you that we may do well in the exams, oh Lord. And please stay with us, oh Lord, and with us, oh Lord. In Jesus' name we pray and believe. Amen.
Amen. Wow, thank you very much for the prayer. Thank you very much, Caroline. Thank you very much also for joining. And now I know that we still have the young Turks with us. Let us remain muted in case there is background noise, so that we do not interrupt the progress of our class. Now, yesterday, we were able to look up to question number 4B. Actually, we were able to look up to question number 4A, but we were not able to look at question 4B. So before we look at the answers to the questions above, I will request us to look at number 4B, so that we look at consolidated answers together on the same. Describe 5 ways in which block letters can be used in perceptual training for learners who are mentally handicapped. So maybe so that we get it right, I will request us to define the terms mentally handicapped, the terms as highlighted there, the terms mentally handicapped, so what does it mean when we talk about mentally handicapped people? What does that term refer to, or what is the meaning? Yes, on mentally handicapped. Yes, Anne.
You can say there are those who have a challenge with those who are mentally challenged. Before they used to call them what did they used to call them when there was him? But that's changed. Yeah, mentally handicapped. They're also mentally challenged.
Right. Yeah, so they baptized the term to sound a bit better.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. iPhone, please tell us your name as you respond.
Oh, sorry, this is Sylvia Kerubo.
Yes, Sylvia.
So, yeah, mentally handicapped are those, okay, in case of learners, are those learners who have a problem with the cognitive.
Okay. We are looking at question 4B. We were defining the highlighted term that is on the mentally handicapped before we look at the question. These are those who are having mental challenges. Now, so what are block letters? What are block letters? What are block letters? Yes, James?
I think they are capital letters.
Yes?
Capital letters.
Capital letters. Uh-huh. Thank you. Sylvia, your hand is still up.
Sorry, I did not lower it. Let me lower it now.
No.
Okay, okay. All right. Capital letters. Right now. So how can describe 5 ways in which block letters can be used in perceptual training? So maybe let's look at the other term here is perceptual training. So what is perceptual training? Yes, James.
Let me give it a try.
Yes.
Perceptual training is focusing on something. So training on focusing on a particular letter or a particular work that is displayed.
Okay. Focusing on if maybe letters, the particular work that is displayed. So how can block letters be used in perceptual training for learners who are mentally handicapped? Yes. Okay, and I've seen that is the capital or uppercase letters. So how can these capital letters or uppercase letters, how can they be used in perceptual training for learners who are mentally handicapped? Silence, there is silence there. The silence means that that is a challenge. That area is a challenge, poses a challenge. Oh, yes, Sophie.
Pascal,
Yes, Anthony.
can you hear me now? Now,
Yes.
I want to make a trial. Maybe it will be a base for us to if it is this perception training, according to my understanding, if the learner has mental challenges, disability comes in the mental area of the learner, which means the learner has a problem in interpretation of maybe interpreting stimuli from the environment, maybe ideas from the learning environment. So, my opinion, the use of block letters maybe.
You are breaking, Anthony. Anthony, you are, yes.
I'm breaking away.
Yes.
So let me chat.
Okay. Thank you. So I think that question we will have to kindly let's do a research on it. Let's do a research on that question so that maybe we look at it on a later day. I want us to carry on as we look at the other parts of this of the questions that we did yesterday. So we were looking at the number 3A, that is outline stages of the curriculum development, and we have the stages of the curriculum development, which I want us to look at. So we have the stage 1. We have the so-called needs assessment, the needs assessment, and then under needs assessment we look at the data collection, the report writing, why the new curriculum, rather why the old curriculum is supposed to be removed and to be replaced with the new one. And again, under it, now after the report has been written, this report has to be disseminated to various stakeholders that are also part of the curriculum development, so that they can also see if that need that is described there, are able to make any necessary changes in the curriculum. Then we have the second one, that is those who have unmuted, please mute yourself. We have the policy formation, where now the national goals of education are reviewed. They are now reviewed at this stage. That is on the at this stage we talk about the curriculum review, not review, but the review of the national goals of education. And it is at this point where we again look at how these national goals of education are supposed to be sidelined in the new curriculum that is maybe supposed to take shape, and whether they will be able to meet the required objectives of the curriculum that is supposed to be implemented. And if that is the case, then they are going to be spelled again. And you realize that both 844 and also in this new curriculum, that is the CBC, there has always been the national goals of education. And these national goals of education, they have not been changing much. Even with the new curriculum that is coming into place. Now, somebody was asking, that is what is needs assessment. What is needs assessment? So when we talk about the needs assessment, this is an assessment that is done to establish the gaps that are existing. It is an assessment that is done to establish the gaps that are found in the existing curriculum or specific needs of a target group. So remember, for the curriculum, for us to say that we want to adopt a new curriculum from the old one, it means that the old one must have exhibited, it must have proved that there are gaps. And how are we going to determine or establish that there are gaps? By carrying a research, a thorough research, and the research is going to be influenced by the changing needs of the society, the changing needs of in education system, the country, the emerging issues that needs to be incorporated. So when we talk about the needs assessment, we are looking at the existing gaps, the disparity in the old, or rather in the existing curriculum. And this gap is what needs to be filled. And so that's why we carry out the needs assessment. And that's why we talk about the data collection. It means a research is going to be conducted, data is going to be collected, and after that is been collected, they are going to be analyzed, they are going to be organized, they are going to be compiled, and therefore the report is going to be written. And after that, it's going to be dissemination of this report to relevant stakeholders to view and also find out or confirm whether the report needs to be effected or not. And the second one, we talk about the policy formation. We talked about the review of the national goals of education. And this is where we also talk about the level objectives, where mathematics activities in grade 1 has its objectives to be met. And again, mathematics activities maybe in grade 5 has also objectives to be achieved. So we talk about the level objectives, they are defined and stated at this point, and then the number of subjects to be learned in a given class are also looked at under this stage. Then we also look at the third one, where now we have the curriculum designs. The curriculum designs. So under this, we under the curriculum designs, the subject general objectives, this is where we have the so-called planning, where we now have the topical contents, the scope, and the sequence of the curriculum design. They're now arranged. They're now arranged in the specific order that is required. And then we have the syllabus development and approval. And under the syllabus development and approval, we now have this is where we now have the writing workshops. This is where we'll have the subject panels, different subject panels, the different course panels, and then we'll also have the printing and production of the syllabus as it moves to stage number 5, where we now have the development of curriculum support materials. And under the curriculum support materials, of course, we talk about the production of the development of the materials, the production of the course books. We also talk about the production of the non-printed materials that are also supposed to be part and parcel of learning. And then we have also the teacher preparation. After all this, the teacher needs to be prepared. And that means that there is going to be development of handbooks and manuals to be used by the teachers. And the teachers are going to be taken through orientation of what is required in the new curriculum. And then we get to piloting stage of piloting or facing, where now some schools are going to be selected. And we say that few schools are going to be selected for as piloting schools, and the development of instructional materials are also going to be implemented under this piloting. And there is going to be piloting itself, and then there is also going to be monitoring of piloting stage. It has to be monitored. so that a report is written, whether it is going to, it may have been successful or not, the weaknesses that were spotted in it that needs to be worked on. And then we also talk about the revision of the syllabus. The syllabus is revised, having looked at the piloting stage. The syllabus is revised, and the vetting of the curriculum support materials. Now, under the vetting of the curriculum support materials, you realize that in every syllabus, there are suggested curriculum support materials. So under the vetting, once the support materials have been shortlisted, then the vetting is now done by the panelists to where they come to an agreement on which ones are best and can suit learning at specific levels. Then we talk about the national implementation, where now the teacher again is oriented, and then the syllabus is distributed. And finally, we talk about the monitoring and evaluation. Where monitoring and evaluation, we talk about summative evaluation, where the syllabus, we talk about the syllabus revision, the academic boards, the course panel, among others. Now, I've seen two questions, or I think one, that is, how many stages are there in, how many stages are there in the curriculum development stages?
Eight.
Yes?
9.
How many?
9.
Uh-huh, 9.
Eight.
Unless, yes, 8, 9, 7. Now, even the other time when we were looking at module 14, there were differences, and this comes as a result of the centers where we come from, according to what I found out. Because those who are in Kise will agree with me that I don't know in Kise whether this was also based on different classes, but those who are in A will agree with me that the stages were 9. I'm not very sure, but those who are in A, that is a surety. Those who are in B and C, who are here, I'm not very sure on what they were taken through. Those who are from various centers also do not know what you are taken through. James? James?
Yes.
You are also saying 7, right?
Yeah. The module I was going through during the day was talking about 7 steps. I don't know which one we are splitting here. The phase on, is it the phase on the national implementation? Because, let me see. There is no part, the module I have, there is no part on the teacher preparation. Are you getting me?
Yes, we are getting you.
And if you could kindly flip to the other, to the
That
other
one,
side, yes. And the I think the syllabus and the curriculum designs are merged in that module. Yeah.
So that is 4, 3, 4 merged. And
Yes,
then,
and then the teacher preparation part
Oh,
is not
goodness.
there.
This is here to
Hello,
refuse us.
Pascal.
yes, yes.
Nasema
Yes.
ni Akorikimoe.
Yes,
I
Akorikimoi.
think piloting also, teacher preparation will also fall under piloting. This one. Teacher preparation will be under piloting. We'll match together.
Okay. So I've seen there are differences, and the differences come as a result of maybe what we were taken through. I want to say that there is no crisis in this, so long as whichever direction we take leads us to the same objectives. Allow me to say something that I did not mention under the policy formation or the policy formulation here. This is supposed to be a policy formation or policy decision or policy formulation. Now, under this place, this is where we now have the current policies. This is where we are having the instruments. Remember, we are talking about the international instruments when it comes to education, and in this case, we also have the national instruments where we talk about the free private education, where we talk about education for all, and where now including those with special needs and those with including those with disabilities, they're supposed to access learning institutions without segregation based on the disability that they are having. Now, we have also reasons why the curriculum should be reviewed regularly. So the curriculum is also reviewed regularly to suit different abilities. Remember that how the children were taught, for example, 10 years down the line, is completely different with how children are taught today. And this comes as a result of, the changes, comes as a result of the changes that are there. The changes that are there, the world things are changing both within and without. And as a result, the curriculum looks forward to also accommodate these changes. And in that way, it means that the different abilities that the learners are having, there is need for them to be met by the curriculum involved. It's also done to establish the curriculum validity, whether the curriculum is valid to so that we continue having it or not. It is also done to include the emerging issues, or we call them the contemporary issues affecting the education. We talk about the corruption, we talk about the coronavirus pandemic, among others. It is also done to remove outdated information and replace it with the sorry, the width is repeated here, and replace it with the new one. Some of the information that were there, for example, you remember when we were learning on the GHC, which was now split to come up with the to come up with the part of it to be social studies. Part of what was learned in GHC, those that were outdated information, and therefore they were deleted, and then they got replaced with the new ideas. It is also done to include new teaching methods. Remember that education is a vast field of research, and therefore, because it is a vast field of research, still up to date research research is being made, or researches are being made, and based on these researches, new teaching methods are coming, and new learning methods, including materials, are also being innovated and invented. Yes, Pia?
Mr. Pascal,
Yes.
you know, I'm sorry for the interference.
Right.
Oh, I was suggesting the question was to the procedures of curriculum development.
Yes.
But I am not getting you on what you are explaining. I am lost somehow. I think we are dealing with the procedures.
No, we are through with that.
Oh, we are through with that.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So go on.
Right. So we talk about the why curriculum should be reviewed regularly, and we have listed some of the points. Now, there is another question on social barriers that should be addressed to facilitate inclusion on children with special with the special needs in the society. And when we talk about social barriers, as we said the other time, these are barriers that are not physical. They are not physical, and most of the times they are mental barriers. So one of the social barriers that needs to be addressed to allow this inclusion, or to facilitate inclusion of children with special needs in the society are: one, we talk about isolation. You know, children are these children who are having the disabilities. Talk about the VI. I was reading a document. I was reading a document on a research that was done in Michigan on the learners with the special needs, and especially at the university, because of their human dignity, they were feeling that they were disturbing their peers every time they're asking for maybe if there is something that they want to know that is happening in the environment and no one has made it known to them. They say that they were feeling, the research says that these learners who were encountered during the research, they were feeling that they were becoming, they were becoming a luggage to their peers who are not having problems with visual impairment. So this isolation, sometimes they can be isolated by those who are supposed to give them information, those who are supposed to be close to them, even to guide them. Then there is the discrimination, whereby under the discrimination, they are always put aside just because they do not have the ability to see what is happening, or whatever the visual aspect of life. Yes. Then there is the stigmatization aspect, where now, what is stigmatization? Let me hear from somebody.
What is
Stigmatization?
discriminated? To be stigmatized, being isolated. I am stigmatized. Yani nimetengwa. Humiliated.
Hey, I'm waiting to hear. Queer, I'm waiting to hear after you finish with that, you tell us the answer. Yes? Queer, we are waiting for your answer, sir.
Okay. Sorry, sir. Sorry for the delay. Okay, to be stigmatized is to be stressed or humiliated. Is an idea of being, is a situation of being stressed up or depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And And now when we talk about it, most of the times when there is a problem with you, and and you see people always gathering to talk or to discuss, you are likely to be tempted you are likely to be tempted to think that they are just discussing about your name, right?
Yeah.
And this is now going to cause somebody a mental torture. Actually, even in the current society, if there is something that has led people to the grave, it is stigma. Stigma has made many to die. If you look at the cases of HIV and AIDS for very many years, even today, what leads people to, what has been taking people to the grave is not the disease, but it has always been the stigma. When you see others, you look at them as potential people who are only gathering to discuss your name. Then we have the labeling, where some people are nicknamed. And
Yeah. Kweli.
yes, where people are nicknamed.
Mtu anaitwa Echura.
Mtu anaitwa kwea, mtu anaitwa aje? Kwea, you are running away when I want you to respond.
Mtu anaitwa Bubu.
Ati Bubu, mwingine sijui anaitwa Echura. Yeah? And then this and even you teachers, you must be having nicknames. If you don't know, you should find out wisely from your learners. They must have nicknamed you. Yeah? I wish I will know how some people are nicknamed here, but these learners know, they know how to nickname you. They can. Yes. Yes, Maureen is saying wengine wameitwa hadi na walimu yule mtoto mwenda. Yule mtoto mwenda, among others. So this labeling, especially when it now gets back to the person who is being labeled, it causes mental torture. And those who labels this particular individual makes this individual to become remorseful of his existence in such an environment. They may end up even dropping out of school. Many have dropped out of school and they left schooling for the rest of their life because they were labeled, they were called names that are not good. There are some names that when you are called with, you feel that you are part of the society, but also there are some names that when you are called with, you feel that these people have disowned you. Then there is the rejection aspect, where now maybe there are activities that are being done and somebody is told, hapana, wewe huwezi cheza na sisi. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu una jicho moja, or because your eyes are not there, you cannot see, or because you cannot walk. And you have had this rejection coming from even children who do not have special needs, lakini kwa sababu wazazi wanasema nyumbani ya kwamba familia ya kina Otieno ni wachawi, so when they come to school, watoto wakicheza huko, unasikia mwingine anaambia Otieno, huu usicheze na sisi. Baba yetu alisema nyinyi ni wachawi. So this rejection, it has caused many to walk out of learning institutions. And then there is the stereotyping, where now somebody uses a term in general, but now this term is singling out somebody. Mtu anakuja anasema na sasa mjue nimesema wale wenye sisi hatuoni ni juu yetu. So the term has been used, including the one who is talking has included himself or herself in the statement, but the hammer or the nail is already hit on the head. And this is it is expressed towards maybe 1 or 2 learners who are having maybe visual impairment, where mwalimu amekuja darasani na anasema ati na mjue hiyo nimeandika hapa, na mjue hiyo nimeandika hapa, wale wenye atuoni juu yetu. So as a result of that, there are those learners that also feel they are not part of the inclusion. They are not part of it. There is a question. A question from Fildema. Giving 4 examples, explain 4 causes of stigma and discrimination in an inclusive setting. Can we answer that? Causes of stigma and discrimination in an inclusive setting. Yes, yes, Ogada.
Yes, Pascal, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yes, I can say whatever I had in mind, I can talk about the financial muscles, okay? So in these financial muscles, you find that coming from different backgrounds, we have those who are coming from the first class, do I say middle class or first class or what, or the allies or what, whichever. So you find that it depends with the place somebody is coming from. So you feel that this financial status can make people to have their groups, whereby you find that people who are coming from this region, because they are in a certain group, where they will group themselves in a certain area. Those who are coming from a certain region that is low, you find they are also grouping themselves in a certain, they have their own group. So this one causes discrimination too. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Edwin. I'm waiting to get other responses from the groups, from the members. Yes, there are 2 hands here. Yes, Rachel Muriunga.
Okay, lack of knowledge or ignorance, whereby a person may, okay, for example, in the case of HIV, a person a person having HIV, you find that this person is stigmatized. Maybe someone thinks that if they share the same cup, they may contract the disease. So I guess that's why.
Right, thank you. That is the ignorance. Queer. Queer, please unmute.
Okay. One of the causes of stigmatization among inclusive setting is cultural practices, like some communities practice FGM in girl child, whereby in a school set, in an inclusive setting, when this child is other child knew that he or she has attended towards that function, so you will be put in that shoe of stigmatization or discrimination.
Right, thank you. James?
I think poor performance, if it is persistent, can also lead to stigmatization.
Persistent poor performance, ile ambayo inajulikana tu even before the exam is done. Tunajua namba ya the last person ni nani. So yeye hata hakuna haja afanye mtihani kwa sababu anajua position yake ni kawaida, apigani na mtu hapo. Wa Rosaida.
Can we also talk of the behavior in that you find those learners who are having behavioral disorders, they are discriminated by the other learners who think they are perfect?
Yes, from the behavioral perspective, right. So let's carry on. Let's carry on.
On the chat box, Pascal.
In the chat box, sometimes misbehavior such as bedwetting among learners, especially in a boarding school. Wewe tu kila wakati wewe ndio mattress yako inashinda nje. So when others are outside during break time, unasikia wanasema ati kuna mtu analinda jua. Ukifuata maana ya kulinda jua vizuri ni kwa sababu somebody's mattress is always outside. Yeah? Au unasikia wanasema ati kuna mtu analala kando ya tap. And then stereotype from environment, very true attitude, cultural beliefs, or there is also lack of knowledge. Then there is illness, the part of illness, especially those who are having some challenges. People have different challenges. So there are these learners who may be having challenges, and therefore these challenges or these factors affects the other organs of the body. So you may think that they are normal, but this disability may end up deteriorating their health, and therefore making even some body organs to dysfunction at some different times. But the learners, unless the learners are brought to the terms to accept that that can happen to anyone, they may continue living in that state of rejecting, stigmatizing others, which is no good. So as teachers also need to observe that which they say in the hearing of others, even if there are differences between the teacher and the parents of a given learner. You should treat your differences wisely, but do not allow it to get back to the learner. The poor parenting of children, especially those that comes from ghetto, they fear nothing, and there is nothing they cannot say. Anything they can say, whether you like it or not, whether you cry or you laugh. Ways in which a wheelchair can be used to assist a learner with motor impairments. Remember, the wheelchair can be used to assist these learners. Learners with motor impairments may have, they are those learners who have challenges with movement. So therefore, the wheelchair at least brings comfortability and ease when it comes to movement. So it can also be used for toileting, for movement within the learning institution or without. The wheelchair, those who are on the wheelchair also play. So the wheelchair can be used to assist the learner with the motor impairments during play, during the exercises, and also during the competitions. And how are you going to bring the competitions? You must look at find a way now you can adapt the competitions so in such a way that learners who are having motor impairments and are using the wheelchair can also participate. In the same way, when maybe you have the girls and the boys playing football, and you are very sure that the boys, because of the mastery of the skills that are required, they are likely to play better than girls, and sometimes they are likely to play rough games. So you can restrict the boys, maybe where they only play using their left legs, and you put it open to the girls, but for the boys, their play is restricted to the left leg, and that is going to be a way now of at least slowing the boys at the same time as you open it to the girls. So when you are having such a learner with whichever kind of impairment, you should make sure that whatever game is played, whatever competition is there, you adapt it in such a way that this learner will at long last also feel part and parcel of the play. Now, this question on block letters, I did not manage to finalize with it, but I think we can do research on it before now we are able to look at it in a way that will accord it all that it takes. Then I think we look at the next one. Explain 5 ways in which a learner may require the intervention of a physiotherapist to enhance learning. Five ways in which a learner may require the intervention of a physiotherapist to enhance learning. So let's, first of all, we can look at who is a physiotherapist. Who is a physiotherapist before we answer the question. Yes? Who is a physiotherapist?
A specialist who deals with the exercise of the lower limbs.
A specialist who deals with the exercises of the lower limbs. So
Pascal.
Yes.
Sijui kama uko na saa, naona time ni mbaya.
Okay.
Ama ulisahau, na hii maneno ya Zoom, watu wamechangamka kweli.
We are having low response on the same.
Oh, there's low response.
Yeah, I think I will show the updated list tomorrow.
Okay, kindly do that tomorrow. I can see we were around 83. So those who have not done something, kindly let's do to keep our Zoom running. Let's do. To the newcomers, something that we are talking about is about the welfare of the Zoom. A subscription of 100 shillings on a monthly basis. It's a minimum of 100. You can do more than that when the grace of the Lord is sufficient, and we'll really say thank you. So this subscription is being done so that we can use this our Zoom. It is a free-to-air Zoom, whereby we may decide to start our class in the morning and end it when we are going to sleep at night. So that's what we mean by free-to-air. It's different from the others whereby could only have 40 minutes, then we are being thrown out, we log in again. So the members agreed we contribute 100 shillings, a minimum, on a monthly basis, to be sent to Pascal's number. Pascal, kindly post your number. So to be sent to Pascal's number to keep
Thank you very much, Edwin. At this rate, I think we can have a closing prayer, and then by the grace of God, we meet tomorrow, our usual time, as we continue.
Maybe Pascal, you can display your number on the screen for those maybe who don't have it.
Though I've shared it in the chat box, let me get it. It's somewhere up here. There it is, the one highlighted in red. Okay, I don't know, the lady prayed. I don't know which man will offer us the closing prayer. Any man to offer us the closing prayer? Yes?
Pascal, let's pray.
Yes.
Okay, Lord, we thank you for this, for you brought us. You've been with us since we started the lessons. Now time that we want to have a rest, call upon you, Lord, to be with us. Thank you for each and every person was managed to log in and take part in this discussion. We worship you and we praise your name, Jehovah, even as we add for our various jobs tomorrow. I call upon you to guide us. We praise your name.